Hello, Pilipinas! This is The Bench, and welcome to our huddle, where we offer a layman's view on anything and everything basketball from a bunch of regular dudes who eat, sleep, and breathe hoops. My name is Julio, and right above me is Mike.
What's up?
To his left, you know Jay.
What up, homies?
And for the first time, an OG of the bench, but for the first time on the show, former NBA, to my left, former NBA social media guru, EJ in the house.
Woo!
What's up?
Okay,
What's up?
don't. What's up, EJ? Finally, you're here, huh?
Oh,
Yep.
Anyway, so don't forget, guys. Somewhere here, I think is the bench. Please follow, like, and follow us on the bench live on Facebook, if I'm not mistaken, or just look up the bench. Check out our beautiful faces and give us a like and a follow to get updates on our episodes. Okay, so today is a great Sunday, and we'll be talking about what happened last night, guys. What happened? We were watching the team. We were watching Team USA. We were watching Team USA against the Czech Republic. Not exactly well. The final score kind of like blew them away, but USA wins 119-84. But it wasn't that much of a blowout for most of the game until the fourth quarter, at least.
Yeah,
So
something like when you asked, what happened? I was like, I thought something happened until nothing happened last night.
nothing happened. The only thing that happened last night. Well, I'm going to start. You know what? I'll start off with you, EJ. What did you think of the game?
What did I think of the game? I mean, it was interesting at first because I was thinking, who are these guys? And you look at the box score and you're like, Tomas Satoransky, okay, that's one guy, and then that's it. It's like
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, Damon Lillard, Booker, Middleton, Drew, guys have just been in the finals, and you're just like, Tomas Satoransky's holding these guys back. I mean, a lot of what's happening with Team USA right now, I think it's just a matter of them maybe just not playing with each other just as much. Maybe it's a chemistry issue because I mean, there are great coaches there. There's great players there. If they decided to go one-on-one, I mean, they torch any player on the opposite side more often than not. So it's confusing and actually also quite fun to watch the dumpster fire happening.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out. I was trying to ask you guys last night. Are we happy that it's close? Because for a while, if I'm not mistaken, Czech Republic had a double-digit lead in the first half. If I'm not mistaken, even on Team USA, no?
yeah.
So, and when Team USA was coming back, I wasn't really sure if you guys were disappointed or happy. So it was kind of like
Well,
confusing.
Well, there's a trend kasi on how the team USA does and how they blow out opponents and our stream. Because when they
Well,
blow
yeah.
out opponents, we have nothing much to talk about in our stream. But though the game yesterday, like EJ said, was pretty interesting. Because if you look at the first half, parang the Czech Republic was hanging around, man. They were they
Yeah,
were they were
yeah.
trading runs with the US, which was quite impressive. Besides Satoransky, actually, there's that who was that guy nga na I forgot his name. That big of theirs that was hitting threes early and was making big
Tim.
buckets. Yeah. So that guy. I mean, for
I
the
didn't remember also it was the first time I saw him as well.
right.
So I was like, yeah, this guy seems to was doing damage last
Yeah.
night. Pero first time I heard of him.
Yeah. Actually,
I don't know anyone
si Jay
from
was
the
doing
Czech team.
scouting na nga for the Lakers Baka daw pwede nila i-pick up yan.
Yeah, I want to get to Jay because I think we were talking last night about the fact that you know what the Lakers can just probably have LeBron, AD, what's his name, Westbrook, and the rest of the Czech Republic team on the roster to make salary cap. But hey, Jay, what did you think of the game last night when we were watching it?
It was interesting to begin with until I left the game when I saw that it wasn't. It was just
Yeah.
going to be another blowout for the US team. But yeah, they hung around for a bit. Sheeb hit 4 out of 5 threes, at least in the first half that I saw. I left partly halfway
The
through
third.
the third quarter.
Yeah.
I don't watch this anymore. That's true. It was just on its way to becoming another massacre. So, but yeah, no, I think other teams, the better teams that are out there, Spain, Slovenia, and whatnot, have already scouted the US. I think we of all
Yeah.
we also have seen how the US team should be played. I mean, if they're on the shooting game, then lights out, you're gone, you're done for. But
Yeah.
if they're missing their 3 pointers and they're not making those outside shots, any one of those top tier teams have a chance at it, man.
Yeah.
I
Actually,
think
that
the
was
US team is beatable.
Actually, that was the story of the first half. What I thought was the story of the first half, because if I noticed that the Czech Republic was pretty loose with their perimeter defense early on, that they were letting
Right,
the Americans shoot, and then they were clogging lang the
right.
lane. So it was
The
very
lane.
solid, the interior D, until the US started hitting their outside shots, no, at a more
Right,
consistent
right,
rate.
right, right,
Then
right.
that's when the rally started. And then si Tatum nga, 'di ba? In the third quarter, first time Tatum showed up for a game and he lit it up in the third. There was a joke after, actually. Si Pop made a joke after.
I was
Na,
gonna say that. All
na,
right.
na,
Go ahead, go
na,
ahead.
na he told Tatum na just imagine you're against the Spurs. Because he always because he always
He
lights it
always
up. He always
he
lights
always
it up,
likes to
yeah,
play against the
against the
Spurs.
Spurs. So parang just imagine you're playing against the Spurs now. And then there, see Tatum scored like what, 27 points.
27 points. Yeah.
Was he the top scorer, Tatum?
Yeah, he
Or
Yeah,
was.
I think he was.
Yeah,
He
last night,
was.
yes.
last night? No, di
Uh,
ba we were laughing garbage time was Tatum. I mean, that's the NBA garbage time when they're up by
yeah,
30.
diba? It was nuts, diba? Keldon
Yeah.
Johnson, Tatum, si Lavine pa nga,
The
Lavine
Vale
and
got
Yeah,
Tatum.
Levine, I think.
Yeah. And then, well, there was that milestone last night also of Kevin Durant now being the,
Yeah,
well,
Right.
most points,
most field goals
most field goals
Most field goals.
in Olympic.
Yeah.
in USA
Uh,
history.
no,
And
no,
he
no.
passed,
Olympic,
what?
Olympic. That's an Olympic record.
Oh, that's an Olympic record, not just
Yes.
Team
No,
USA.
not just Team USA.
And he passed Melo.
Past Melo, and
Yes.
then
Right.
MJ on third.
And then yeah, and the MJ on third, and then we were discussing like, how could it be? Did he score that much in Dream Team? And then and then what we didn't realize was that MJ did not pala play the Olympics only as a Dream Team member. He was
Mhm.
actually part of that
Yeah.
collegiate.
Right.
That yeah,
That
right.
won.
So
Top
Yep.
Knights team. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and I found it amusing, like 'cause we're so used to thinking about about the Olympics and men's basketball as NBA players now that we
Yeah.
forget also there's that time when
Yeah.
people like
They were
MJ,
amateurs. Yeah.
yeah,
Kaya
they
nga
were
naging dream
amateurs.
team eh.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah,
naging dream team nung 92. Because before that, it's like, they really USA needed to get their act together in basketball because, they were getting beat before that. They were like, why are we
yeah,
getting beat? We have the best players in the world. So then they decided to,
yeah.
but
Yeah, and that was the
that's
first
all
year
that's
also.
all glorious history.
That was the first year also of the Olympics allowing the pros, diba, to join. 92.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
possibly also,
Yeah.
yeah. So including basketball,
Barcelona.
yeah, there was a
Mm.
clamor. Or I'm not sure if it's the Olympics before. There were some already. Some events were being allowed, some weren't. So by the time '92 came along,
Yeah, yeah.
it became full force already. I don't know the exact history of that because I remember in '88. Okay, '84, that team of Sina Jordan beat. I mean, they won the gold.
Mhm.
But then in '88 was Sina David Robinson, and they lost
Right.
to USSR.
Mhm.
To that US that included Sabonis, I think, and I
The
think
bonus.
I'm not sure if Kirilenko was there also, and of course the people like from Lithuania, those they were all on
Right.
that team. So that's when the NBA
Sabonis
decided.
ate Rob. Yeah, Sabonis ate David Robinson up, dude.
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, that Russian team. If my
He
memory
looked like he was.
if my memory holds me correctly, you get that super strong Lithuanian team in '92
Mhm.
that had Marshallonis, Sabonis, Kurtonitis, and then you add. I'm not sure if Kirilenko was there, or they must have had other Russian players there. That was probably a powerhouse at that time
Mhm.
He
compared to
was. Yeah.
these college players. So,
Right.
what's next for the team for Team USA, guys?
Well,
Well,
it's a seeding now. So I think may bunutan yan on where they fall. So I think the rules now is the top three from the group stages will be in one pot, and then the other five will be in another. So I don't know how they're gonna seed that in the quarters, but basically that's picking from two pots basically, and then so
Yeah.
it's lottery then where they fall on the
With the
bracket.
US losing one, though, I mean that probably.
Yeah,
I wonder
they're
if that takes them out of the top three.
yeah, it does.
Yes, it
It
does
does.
actually.
Right?
I
It
think
It
yeah.
does.
does.
Yeah.
What?
Cheater.
Well, no, because
France is undefeated, right?
No,
France
pero
is
no,
undefeated.
pero there,
Australia,
Australia is undefeated.
yeah,
and then
pero
Australia is undefeated.
later the game of Slovenia and Spain would have one undefeated also. So
yeah,
you,
Right,
right.
right, right.
USA is not going to be top three.
And
Yeah.
So
actually,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
not that's not good for them because the chances of them facing a tougher team, one of the top three teams, is higher in
Early
the
on.
early
Right.
on. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
I mentioned this last night. Huh? I'll ask you guys again. Any of you guys can just chime in. If the US gets knocked out in this quarterfinals in this Olympics, how bad a stain would it be on Pop as Team USA coach? Not as Pop, the NBA coach, huh?
How bad it would be for Pop.
Because in 2019 he was the coach also of Team USA who got ousted in the
Right.
quarterfinals with a lesser
Right.
team though, but still Pop being head coach. Would it taint Pop a little like it tainted Larry Brown?
well,
When
ako, now pa lang as it is, there's already a lot of backlash in the media on how Team USA is doing, and there's a lot of, there was that issue also of the players clamoring about how Pop is using the San Antonio Spurs system on Team
System.
USA, which
Right.
I mean, if it is true, it doesn't make sense because that system of the Spurs is meant for it's not meant for a team that's full of superstars who can create their own shots. It's something
No.
that maximizes the limitations of the Spurs offense or the Spurs roster, diba? So it
Roster.
doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. Ngayon, I don't think naman that it is the case because I don't think Pop is that dumb. I think it's just also the media medyo
yeah,
kind of hyping that leaked, di ba? You were joking nga, baka naman si KD lang yun yung reklamo. Kasi there was a play, di ba? I pointed out a play last night na they went on a timeout. Czech Republic went on a run. They went on a timeout. Pop drew a play. Everyone was sitting. He was on his whiteboard. And then right after they broke the huddle, KD was like pointing stuff on the whiteboard as if telling Pop na, or trying to
yeah.
change or giving his opinion on the play that was called. And then when they got to the floor, it turned out that KD was just a screener. He just his whole participation in the play was just one screen. He ran to the corner, and then that's it. He just kumbaga just set that screen and get out of the way. Basically, that's his shots.
TJ, you were going
I
to say
mean-
something also, yeah.
I definitely agree. There's an argument to be made that there would be some kind of negative
Yeah.
effect, on his career because you do have two players that came from an NBA championship run. You have Booker, who was the best player on the opposing team of that
Yeah.
what do you call this of the finals. Then you have KD, who is arguably the most killer shooter in scorer.
NBA now,
And
yeah.
not shooter. The shooter it's Steph, but KD is arguably the best overall scorer. And he could light it up. Then you have Tatum, who's the best player on Boston, and is no what do you call the stranger to lighting it up as well. So I mean, it's not a team lacking for talent. Damian Lillard, of course. I mean, also, these guys have been to the Western Conference Finals. They've gone deep stretches in the playoffs, and you put them together, you expect they could beat Australia. They could beat Nigeria, and so nothing's happened yet.
Yeah.
Technically, it's like we're still in the opening rounds. Everybody just loves to talk and
Yeah.
whatever. when you were talking about uh, Team USA following Pop's plays with the Spurs and everything, I think that not necessarily wrong. They did have Tim Duncan. They did lean heavily on it. They know Pop knows how to lean on a superstar.
Right.
So does Steve Kerr, and I think more than the Spurs, they could benefit more from a dub system, especially when you have Draymond Green bringing up the ball and you've got instantly, no matter who's on the floor, you have four shooters,
Well,
right?
yeah.
And if it's someone else bringing up the ball, and if Draymond Green's not in there, you have five shooters, and a ton of really, really talented slashers, and they could just kick it out. And my barometer actually last night when I saw things were going badly for the Czech Republic was Draymond had 8 points, and I was like, yeah, that's bad defense right there, And I was like, I can't really tell if Team
No,
USA is really gonna be in bad shape. I think it's too. I think it's too early.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yes, I do agree that if they crash out, then how? What happened? What internally? What's going on? Was Booker too depressed that he affected everyone? I don't know.
Me, it's more like the second strike kasi also that there was just the feel. But you, Jay, what do you think about all this also? Just in case, if I mean, if they all go win the gold medal, that's cool. But do you think if they crash out early or even in the semis, you think Pop's gonna get some heat from this?
Maybe some, but I'd put more pressure on the players themselves, man.
Yeah, true.
There's a system in place. Kerr is there. It's not just Pop, He's got players there too. Kerr's got Draymond, like EJ mentioned. These are superstars, man. They've gotta buckle down, do the job, do the work, do the dirty work also, and not play like millionaires out in the court, and go in and win the games. Because if they're hitting their shots, there's no one out there that can beat them. They're gonna, and eventually, if they do lose, it's them beating themselves, really.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I guess no one also will argue with the. I mean, if they lose, it's really them beating themselves more than more than Pop not coaching
Yep.
coaching them
Right.
up. Also. Yeah, that's
Right.
also.
Yeah, and I
Pero
think
I know how.
I mean, looking at
Yeah.
last night also and how ako nga, I don't see the Spurs system. I don't see the 100% Spurs system in what they're doing. I see sets. They're using some of the Spurs sets, but for the most part, for me nga, it's a hybrid of the Spurs and the Dubs. With the way si
has
Draymond
to
would
be.
facilitate.
Yeah.
Diba?
Right.
Pero I cannot say also watching the Spurs even when while they're sucking and the sets they run. Parang I don't recognize a lot of the sets there. There were some that they usually run, yung mga back picks and then the way they run their motion offense. But then nothing really that would say na okay, this is the Spurs playbook.
Yeah.
It's nothing close to that. So I think it's overhyped lang by media. It's all, it's just media making up stories para lang, they need somebody to blame. They need somebody to
Yeah. I'll go to
yeah,
scapegoat.
somebody to this, para lang somebody to blame. They lost, diba? Those were two shocking losses in the warm-up tournament, and then they lost to France in the opener. So medyo alam mo naman the sports media yan. Somebody has to be.
Because I was gonna say like I hope Steve Kerr and Pop are talking also about a sign and trade at some point in time during their stay
Oh,
there.
si
Definitely
Papi
gonna be a
ba
lot
yan?
of
Si Papi
playing.
Kelly ba yan?
Okay. We'll get to do some trades later if you want. We can close the.
Oh yeah, we should.
We can
There's quite a
close.
few.
We can close Team USA out. Well, we can up the. What's been happening since our last episode? What was?
I have ano lang. I'll make seeing
Yes.
it one trivia.
Go.
This is Drew's first crack at an Olympic gold. Apparently, Drew's wife Lauren won 2 golds. She played for the U.S. women's soccer team and has 2
Yes.
golds.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
And you know who
Pretty cool,
else?
man.
And you know
I
who
remember that.
else?
Yeah. No, I remember.
Yeah.
And you know who else has pressure?
Go,
Oh,
Mike. We saw this last night.
JaVale McGee. Because the mom is an Olympian in
3
basketball.
Oh. Oh, there you
Three-time
go.
yata?
Three-time, three-time gold medalist, U.S.
For women's basketball.
I'm learning
Dude.
things.
Dude, do you know Javel's head case before, younger in his career? It was probably living up to all
Because
the
the mom
pressure
was-
of his mom.
Right.
Poor
Right.
guy was like, "Wow, your mom's like your mom's. You should be like this, Javel. Your mom was the shit and all that." And Javel was like, "Yes." Poor guy, man. But I mean, I'm happy the Dubs gave him a chance though, because he got it. He got it really bad in his. Well, he did a lot of Kenkoy stuff also when he was
Oh,
young.
And then
yeah.
again with the Lakers, man.
Two-time ano yan, di ba? Shakting a full MVP.
Yeah, dude, he won 2-2 with the Dubs. He has 3
Yeah.
rings. That's 3-time
Right.
champion JaVale McGee.
Yeah.
I thought it was unfair that they were, what do you call, there was a lot of poking fun. There are actually people angry that he was part of Team USA. I was like, man, they called him. Team USA,
Yeah.
you know,
There's a reason.
called him. He answered the call. I mean, like, he's
Yeah.
playing for his country. I mean, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
let the champion play, man. He is.
Right.
He knows how to fit into a
Three
system.
Yeah, he's also
knows-
American. They made Bama the Bio play. JaVale McGee's also American. Ganun ba? We're
Mom's
bringing-
Nigerian nga eh. di ba?
They just needed to fill the seat.
they just
Hey, you, American!
Halata,
He's another
halata.
guy.
Baka nga yan pa yung mga controversy kasi halata with Pop and Kerr on the coaching staff. Diba? Si Kerr siguro picked JaVale and then Pop picked Keldon Johnson. Nagtampo
Or
tuloy
players,
si ano,
yeah.
diba? Nagtampo tuloy si
May mga
Trey Young.
favorites.
Hindi, hindi hinug lang ni Pop yan si Keldon eh.
Hindi, minamanok niya talaga yan. That's our guy right there.
Oo eh.
Yep, definitely.
so since
Definitely.
the last time we streamed, I think we were talking about the France. Wait, was it the France? We were talking about the US Iran,
Yeah.
like what? Italy, Australia, because Australia beat Italy. So I'm not sure if we discussed that. And then France eventually went undefeated by beating the Czech
Right.
Republic. Slovenia,
Nigeria lost to Italy.
yeah, Nigeria's gone because Nigeria
Yep.
with all their hype eventually they
Yep.
just bowed out. Slovenia's 2-0 when they beat Japan, and they have a game against Spain today.
Yeah.
I guess
later,
after our
at 4:20.
stream.
Yep.
In a few.
No, they don't. They don't have a game against Spain. Luka Doncic has a game against Spain later.
Yeah. You know, you weren't here, EJ. We were talking about what Colin Cowherd when he made his monologue on Team Slovenia, talking about how it was. How the hell do you form a Slovenia national team that goes to the Olympics when you have a population of 2 million? So can you imagine the talent you have to look for per capita as compared to other teams, and you have this one Luka bringing them all the way to the Olympics?
That's Iceland. That's Iceland in the World Cup also, man. It's like you've got farmers and grocers and carpinteros there. It's like, and that's their day jobs, man. There's like, oh, sige, I'll play football also. Pwede rin. You know, it's like, I don't mind. Sige.
So there, so that's what's happening later, and then I think that's gonna be the last game. So that's gonna be the last game of this group qualifiers.
Yeah.
It's Spain and Slovenia, and then do we know when the next game is? Wala pa, no? We don't know yet.
August 3rd.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
like Mike was saying.
Yeah, if not
Yeah.
mistaken, August 3rd is the start of the medal stages.
August 3rd is the start of the medal. So I guess, yeah, we'll be back streaming again for that. And you have any thoughts, Pa, on the group? Let's go into trades unless you have any more thoughts on this group stage Olympic run, Team USA Olympic run. Let's start with the man Jay. What do you think? Still have
Just quite. What are we talking about? The trades na?
no. If you have any final thoughts?
Final
on
thoughts. Final
on the-
thoughts on Olympics.
the group stage so
Wala
far.
na, dude.
Wala na, you're good. Mike, you're okay, Mike?
Well, yeah, I'm hoping lang to see more exciting basketball in the medal stages lang.
Yeah.
Medyo ito, the
Sana,
games have
yeah.
been medyo meh so
Yeah.
far.
Okay.
I mean,
Right,
diba? I mean,
right.
not as you know, as how we ramble on with basketball stuff, we haven't had enough material to ramble
Yeah.
on with the games that we've seen
That
so
US Iran, that US Iran coverage we did is the the least watched episode on the bench.
Walang kagana-gana.
What
Walang
can you talk about, dude?
I mean,
None of us even shared it. We were so like, US, Iran. None of us even shared it to our own pages, pare.
there was really nothing to share.
Right after you did the
That was-
episode, you
that's-
forgot about it already.
yeah. It's like
exactly.
move on.
Normally we share the episodes, but that one episode,
Right away.
I told Mike, you know what, pala Mike, why it's the lowest? Because none of us shared it, man. We just like we did it, we tucked it away
Yeah.
in internet aparador. DJ, I'm moving to trades unless you have a vehement opinion pa on.
Not a vehement opinion. I will say I'm always rooting for Spain. It's
okay,
like I always want them to go. I just don't think that they have any fresh energy this time. I'm expecting a lot of fireworks from Luca. I mean, it is a joke, but he's the dude. You know, I mean, he is the one to watch in this Olympics. And yeah, Team USA is Team USA, but for me, my wild card is Slovenia, and I think it'll be a lot of fun watching them and seeing where they go.
Yeah, I think Mike mentioned, I'm not sure whether it's off our messages or last episode, that if you have the face of the NBA now in Giannis, Luka seems to be becoming the face of global basketball. You know what I mean? That's
Easily, I think.
yeah. I mean, the next, well, at least even in Oscar Schmidt levels for Brazil. I mean, he's that important to Slovenia. So, well, we'll see. Sana next week nga. You know, me personally, I'm happy next week because I showed you guys the schedule. Dude, Summer League is happening next week. So if you guys want to check out your rookies already, we have a lot, man. So I'm gonna I'm seeing
can we not-
I need to watch. I need to have stuff to argue with Julio about. You know,
Good.
it's like
Check it out. I mean, I checked the schedule now. It's available on the NBA app already. As in, it's part of the games calendar list. I'm not sure if you have to have a subscription or it's part of the free games package nila because it's summer league. So you should just check it out. But that's cool, man. I get to watch Kaminga and Moody already playing with Jordan Poole and I have the lineup of their squad na Jay. Galing. Next week.
Good for you. I have nothing to watch except Brody. They're not gonna be playing on the Summer League, dude. Now I'm hearing talk about Melo coming in. We do need shooters. Melo shot 40.9% on trays last season, which was his best career-wise. We need shooters. I'll get it from anywhere, man.
they need to install a banana boat on the bench.
Oh, dude. Yun na yun eh.
The bench
Right
should
now,
be
I'll accept any
The bench is one banana
class we
boat.
can pick up from the street. Yeah,
Ay,
dude.
nako.
Wala. It's barkada ball.
yeah.
Barkada ball.
Pero,
Melo
The
thing
Lakers
might
are still the
happen,
Lakers, man. They'll be they
Yeah.
just can't. It went down to injuries, but they'll be back.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
aside
I
from
still
the
expect
Lakers-
a good season.
Aside from the Lakers being just the Lakers, it's I learned my lesson on banking or like wishing LeBron failure or whatever because the guy can lift up any team until proven wrong or he's hit by an injury.
Right.
You still don't bet against LeBron.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
He's another year older.
Wait.
Wow.
I mean, you can't really say that, dude. Kasi
Say what?
betting against LeBron. I mean, let's look at the odds na lang. I'll be objective here. Let's just look at the
Okay.
odds of betting
Really?
for and against LeBron, dude. That's a 60% chance of winning the finals against LeBron. Yun lang. That's all I have to say. 60%.
okay, fine.
What does that even mean, dude?
Dude,
Well, what's happening?
He lost 6 of 10. He lost 6
Wala
of
na nga
10.
kaming rookie eh. Wala na nga kaming rookie
Hindi
eh.
lang, I'm just calling it out.
National
lang.
yan, talent eh.
Mike is saying.
No.
this is the second time Jay walks out.
Oh my God, at least he walks out
No.
properly without his slippers.
Oh my God, is Jay gonna walk out?
No, he's not.
He's not.
Yeah, okay.
Ayan na.
Yeah.
That
Si Mike kasi,
Teka
ba?
lang, ito naguguluhan
Wait, but
ako.
what did you mean?
No.
Mike,
6 of 7, there's meaning like what? There's a stronger chance.
No.
No.
All I'm saying lang, kasi
So
si
last year-
Julio was saying na it's hard to bet against LeBron. But if you're gonna look at the statistics, it's actually not. Kasi you have a 60%
It's 6 of
chance.
10.
6 of
60%,
10, diba?
right.
Because of
You know
6
what?
of 10. I'm
You
just
know
being,
what?
I'm just...
Okay.
What
you know
was it
Mike?
last season? 5 of 10.
Yeah. No, 6 of 10 last season. 6 of 9, I think. It should have been less. Kasi now he lost. He didn't make it. No, finals. You're talking about the finals only?
Yeah, finals only.
Okay, then it's still 6 of 10.
Okay.
6 of 10.
But I was
Right.
gonna take it. I was gonna extrapolate it more, Mike. I was gonna say more. I mean, that's when he makes it to the finals. But in the last how many years has he made it to the finals versus not? That's
Well,
a
yeah.
good bet, man.
Talking 10, dude. You're talking 10.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
I mean,
right.
that's another thing. Pero diba, it
Diba?
doesn't matter naman diba? Did it matter to Chris Paul that he got to the finals? It didn't, dude.
Matters
I
to
think it's
me.
gonna matter a lot. I think AD is gonna matter a lot more now, man. I mean, LeBron, come on, man. How old is LeBron now? You know, I mean, I'd never count him out, but he
Right.
is getting there. You know,
Well, he
I mean,
has
he
to.
is a freak of
Well, he has
nature,
to.
but it's Westbrook's gotta find something, you know, lest he builds his own clay statue in LA with his
You know
own
what?
bricks.
With bricks.
Pero in all honesty,
No, but pero, ha?
okay, go Jay, go. I mean, since you came back.
No. I agree with the AD thing. Kasi you noticed it naman na even last year. The thing was,
Yeah.
AD got hurt also. But he was
Yep.
already carrying most of that load. I think it was obvious naman. And LeBron won't have to be the old LeBron for the Lakers to win. Maski
Yeah.
80%, 75% LeBron, kaya yan man.
It was obvious that they needed a third, and they were struggling to find that. And everyone thought
Yes.
Kuzma
Yeah.
might, you know,
Right.
they didn't need a big three, but they needed a third. Except
A
now
third.
they ended up with a big three, you know, with Westbrook. Well, maybe not like
Right.
this. You know, I mean, he is a triple double machine. Pero you know, now it's another year of chemistry, of, you know, relearning chemistry. Are they gonna be able to work him in to their return? I always say when a superstar comes into the team that first year, it's a chemistry issue. No matter what you say, it's why LeBron lost
Yeah.
that first year.
Yeah.
He went to the Heat,
Right.
and then when he went back to Cleveland, that's a new. He's LeBron, but that's a new team. That's a new chemistry issue. You know. So when he went first to the Lakers, I was like, "Nah, he's not winning." I mean, it's not because it's not any stain to him. It's just that you moved to a whole nother team.
Yeah.
You know,
and you had a
different
movie.
different system again, right? So a lot of guys that stayed to, like Dirk, Kobe, MJ, Tim Duncan, dudes that stayed to their team the longest time, no matter if players change, they're the ones that have to adapt to this system.
Right.
You know, the lead
Right,
superstar
right.
never had to adapt, right? He carries the team the way he's always had. There's nothing to,
Yeah.
you know, and it's
Yeah.
onus is on the new guys, or you guys adapt to this, or else you're out.
Right. Like right now, it really is on Brody to be the one
Yeah.
to adjust.
Yeah.
Apparently, they met a week before all this went down, and they sat down, the three of them, at Braun's house. So I suppose they already know what's expected. Russ already knows what he needs to be doing. Yun lang. We just really need shooters around these guys because Brody's gonna be chucking bricks. Yan lang. But
And,
in the sense of helping out with the rebounds, helping out with dishing. If Braun needs to rest, he can run that offense, man.
Yeah.
So may tulong yan.
And actually, with all the flack that Westbrook gets from media and even fans, diba? He's still sa akin lang, Westbrook has his head screwed in right in terms of how how to be a team player. That
What?
can I finish and then you argue your side? Hindi kasi dude, you can't naman say you hate Westbrook. But all of his teammates, even though the ones in the Wizards, they all love him eh.
Oo nga.
They all love
Oo
him eh.
nga.
So there's
That's
something
true,
there. He brings something to
I
the
have
locker
to-
room that we
I
don't
have
see.
to agree with that.
Diba? So
Yeah.
So I don't think it's gonna be hard for him to try and fit in. I don't think it's gonna be an ego issue. I don't think it's gonna be a, even he said in that article nga when they met na he's okay with playing off ball now since you know how ball dominant he is. He's totally fine on playing off ball now when LeBron facilitates. So ako
Right.
it's like you've been saying, Jay, the chemistry, of course, it there will be issues early on just because they're not,
Adjustment period.
yeah,
Yeah.
adjustment period
Yeah.
with even you know, even the routine and the flow that they're used to in getting into the rhythm in the game and all that, it will change for Brody kasi bigla na lang, you know, before na he used to have the ball so he gets warmed up really fast. So now it might things like that, yung mga all these small details that go into the yung mga nuances na when trying to get your form in the game. But in terms
Right.
of, you know, getting them on one page and trying to win the championship, I don't think it's gonna be a problem there.
I I expect the Lakers to be running more.
Yep.
Just like they did when they won the ring. Last year, parang bitin, di makatakbo solid.
Hindi ako nga lang, dude.
But,
You know what
but with
scares
Russ
me?
there, finishing the
No.
break, dude, tatakbo yan. The
no.
pace, I think, will get back to what
Yep,
it was
for sure.
before.
You know what?
Hopefully, Drummond and Gasol don't slow them down. I'm still hoping they get to pick up at least one or two athletic bigs sana.
Pero
Para
ito, dude,
makasabay.
if the LeBron AD fast break is scary, for me, dude, the Russ AD fast break
Yeah,
is even
Russ,
scarier.
yeah, man.
If you
Yeah,
have
on the
Russell
wings.
Westbrook and
Tama
AD going downhill on you, dude, that's even scarier than the LBJ AD
Right, right, right.
duo.
I just have two things to say.
Just
Two lang
two?
naman. Ay,
Just
two
two?
lang, two lang. Just two.
How long will the two things take? Sige, go ahead. Go
We
ahead.
have ano pa naman. We have another 30 minutes or so.
Oh, pwede pa yan. Take your time,
First
dude.
of all,
First of all,
I want to get into trade. I want to get into trades also. The only thing I have to say is one, that I don't disagree with the fact that they're going to be dangerous. I believe LeBron, Russ, and AD is a dangerous team no matter what you do, and you get the whole Slovenian team except for Luka around them. That's a good team, no problem. I just I don't agree with the cap situation they put themselves in.
Yeah.
And if I was a fan of the Lakers, expect expect a tank when LeBron leaves. I mean, that you're just sucking the life out of what a team is, and you'll have nothing left after. And okay lang, it's probably for one more ring. And the argument there is that do you do that for that one more ring, then have a tank talaga for multiple years, or you want to have a nice steady competing team the whole time? That's I can't anymore get myself. I would like the longer type thing. Some people would rather have now na and then that's not on me na. And I guess my second point lang is that Westbrook in playoff situations will still have to prove to himself. I mean, to even LeBron, that he won't revert back to Westbrook, because we saw it in Houston, where when the game's on the line, he wouldn't even trust Harden, and he would take bad shots, an air ball from 18 footers and all that. So that's gonna be the biggest. It's probably a chemistry issue, but can Westbrook get out of that? Because that's always been Westbrook all the way back to OKC. That's the only thing.
Westbrook has gone deep.
I think that's an that's an easy answer. You have AD and you have LeBron.
Yeah.
Sobrang bobo na ni Russ kung di pa niya ipasa dun. Endgame? Not like with Harden kasi parehong alpha sila eh.
Yeah,
With here, wala pwede siyang mag-delta, pwede siyang mag...
It's just kind of weird, though. It's just really weird, you know, because you always thought that in that squad, it was Harden and Westbrook that were the closest. They were friends. Even when Harden left, they always kept touch. So you thought they were on the same page when he went to Houston. It's like, maybe this time this is gonna work.
Yeah.
You know, because you know they know each other. You know, it's like, okay, this is someone that Russ can trust. And I don't know what Harden did, but there was obviously a point where, very similar to how Chris Paul was at the end of his time in Houston, where you knew like something happened here. You know, this is different. You know, so it's like, so you're hoping that Westbrook doesn't And wait, not even hoping. I really find it. Don't think that LeBron or AD or anyone in the Lakers roster right now can actually do that to Westbrook. Like,
Right.
there's just a lot of history there that that Westbrook can look at and be like, I can differ.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
unless
Definitely.
he can really prove na may topak lang talaga siya.
I
But
know,
for
I
me,
think, I think
pero
Wait
for,
and see.
pero for me, that whole Houston situation, I always thought that was the Harden was the issue. Kasi
Yeah.
there.
Kasi
That's
Chris
exactly what I
Paul,
was gonna
yep,
say.
diba? Kasi even with Chris
Yeah.
Paul, the
Yeah.
exit interviews of Chris
Yeah,
Paul and all
same.
the statements, it was Harden that
Right.
was the problem. It wasn't Russ or
Right. No.
CPG.
Yeah.
Ngayon,
Yeah.
apparently si Chris Paul left because he didn't like, you know how similar to the situation of Butler when he left Philadelphia. Parang
Yeah.
he didn't like the way they were doing things. It was too.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
It's
It's
the
not some.
organization.
Yeah. It was a problem with the
Yes.
culture and how they
Yes.
went about things that wasn't consistent with a club that's trying to win a championship. So
Right. Right.
and that was the same feedback apparently from Westbrook. So you're getting
Yeah.
it from two guys, although contrabidas, but then both contrabidas. But then if it's that consistent,
Not on that.
and alam mo naman, Julio can probably monologue on all the mga backstories of the D'Antoni, Daryl Morey Houston Rockets, diba? So
That's exactly it. Because Harden had had a hold
yeah.
of that organization, man. Harden, in a whim, can say this, that, and the org will just fold up and do whatever Harden wants. And then you see Harden drinking beer, pataba ng tiyan. Dude, if you were the teammate, would you want to play with that guy? No. I don't think I don't think Russ or even SP3 was the problem there.
Well,
You saw
okay.
naman how unfit Harden was with the Nets, and that cost them the run at the championship also.
This topic is killing Julio because
Yeah.
we're
No, no, no,
talking about two of his favorite players, Westbrook and Chris Paul.
I will
I have a
say
joke.
this. Oh, go. Joke muna. Joke time. Go.
Joke time.
How does Harden like to receive his salary?
Ano yan? By Beardly? No. is that a joke? By, diba? You have semi-Beardly, by Beardly, and Beardly.
Hindi.
What?
Hindi. In dollar bills.
Oh.
In dollar bills.
Yeah.
And even then, it's not enough.
Iniipit mo sa ano, diba?
Ayan na. Sumayo na.
Okay.
Although the daming segue kanina, you were talking, Mike mentioned about, what do you call this? Oh, problem with the organization. You mentioned Philadelphia. I was like, oh, we could totally go there. And we're talking about, what do you call this? Trade situation where, the Lakers, oh, we want to win now, and eventually they're going to attack. And I was like, and that leads me to the Dubs. Do we want to go there?
and well,
Because we're like, what is happening with LA now? Like you're saying, fine, they bring in
Yeah.
Russ, the cap situation, you don't agree. It's totally win now. When this is over,
Right.
it's tank time.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna happen. They won't have a choice. With
yeah.
the Dubs,
right.
everyone's saying
With the Dubs.
you have Dre, you still have Clay, you still have Steph. It's
Yep.
like media's all like, you gotta effing win now. There's no, I'm like, so you want us to put our team in this precarious situation where we'll do absolutely everything to secure, and
Yeah.
take
In other
the
words-
trade, whatever trade that is, whether it's the dumbest trade in history for Ben Simmons or whatever is out there,
or
or
a gutting trade for Bradley Beal.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Or you trust your superstars who've done it already, and you
Right.
take inspiration from what Milwaukee did, and you let them lead this team who has really good young players, very good supporting cast, and they almost showed something last season. I mean, there was just a lot of things to figure out, right? And there's still a lot of things to figure out, but now there's a very talented young group of players to complement, and they're saying you gotta wreck that
Yeah.
because it's win now. I
I
agree it's win now, but I don't agree you have to wreck what you got.
Yeah. Can I be the first? I'll say it now, diba? I always said that I'm expecting the Dubs to trade it all and just get the veteran na lang because I'm resolved to the fact that that's what the pressure seems to be, right? That's what so I'm not even investing in these rookies because that's what Steve Kerr might want. That's what media is talking about. But you know what came out today? I posted it in our Facebook. Did you read it, EJ? This is an interview.
No, no.
There's an interview with Joe Lacob on
Yeah,
if
yeah,
they
I read that. I read that.
you read that. So I'll quote it. If we can, okay, whether the Dubs' ability to contend for a title this season, and then Joe Lacob says, if we can't, then you should look at Joe Lacob, Bob Myers, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Andrew Wiggins, and say you weren't good enough. The Warriors owner said, "You're paying all that money, you weren't good enough. They need to be good enough, and they should be. They've won before. They're a little bit older, but they're still really good. Clay will be back. That's the key. I think we'll be good enough. Yes." So I think I was telling Mike when Lacob also when you saw that finals last year and there was all that pressure to either trade Wiseman and trade this, get another star, they're just as top heavy maxed out in contracts like the Lakers. But they have an advantage. They were able to gather all these young assets to not have to get all these minimum free agents. And that's what everyone seems to be wanting them to let go of for one more star pa. Kumbaga, you're gonna, so maybe Lacob has gotten inspiration and I don't want to expect, but it would make me happy if Lacob has that idea that, yes, I do have enough stars and I can develop some of the young people to at least be off the bench contributors now. And that's why they hired Kenny Atkinson and that European coach. And so they're putting more investment into that. So there's no hard tanking after Steph and the OG3 retires. You know what I mean? They don't have to do a 3 to 4 year tank because they've already gotten what I call their future four in Poole, Wiseman, Kuminga, and Moody. Hopefully. Diba?
And maybe Andrew Wiggins. If
Maybe
he
Andrew
still,
Wiggins.
if
Yeah,
he
yeah.
remains, maybe Oubre if he remains. Those are my
Yeah.
wild cards right now. Oubre sounds like he's a little disgruntled,
He's gonna
with what happened, last season. I mean, it's like I really expected that, and I think they are. They're trying to ship him.
he's gonna be gone.
Um,
They can't even ship him.
but-
I doubt
There
it.
are already rumors
Yeah.
that he might be going to the Spurs now.
Yeah.
No, actually, the rumor is he wants to go to the
Paparinig na
Spurs.
siya eh.
He
Okay.
wants to go to the Spurs.
Right.
Now,
okay.
no, so do you see the wisdom now of Steve Kerr never benching him last season? But there was that clamor that Lee was more efficient than Oubre, so they should bring Oubre off the bench for more firepower in the second unit and all that. And Kerr just refused. That was smart. That was smart because look, the one word Kerr nga said that if Clay comes back, do you think Oubre will be starting? And Kerr just was honest. I don't think Oubre will start when Clay comes back. You know what I mean? That's even Oubre's fuel now in all his interviews that he cannot be boxed as a star. So can you imagine if Kerr benched him last season? Voila, he'll be a disgruntled player, and any chance of a sign and trade agreement by him is thrown out the window. And the Dubs wanted to protect that at least. Na may chance to sign and trade him. So
Right.
that's just a
Pero
tidbit.
parang he's still there in that medyo disgruntled nga.
No, he
Gahanap
is
ng ibang options.
No, he is disgruntled because nga, he feels that he lost money being in the Dubs last year. He lost his stock, kind of went
Right.
down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Contract
Right.
year siya dapat eh. If the Dubs made
And
the
he was
playoff,
given the
Not for
like
lack
you
of
said, though, he was
opportunity.
given the playing time. And
yes,
he was given the playing time. So
yeah. That's why Kerr never
that's on
benched
him,
him.
not the
Yeah.
team.
That's why Kerr never benched him so that no one can say, na, hey, no, you were starting the whole time also, man. You
Right.
you just got injured. That's why you didn't.
Right.
That's the whole game there. With that.
Well,
And-
magaling
Buti
din
nga,
eh.
at least you guys.
The Dubs are really good naman at player relations eh. I mean
That's-
that's
yes,
one of the
that's-
things then that I like about the Spurs and how they handle their players. Even that whole LaMarcus Aldridge situation, 'di ba? on
Yeah,
how they let him walk, diba? Para he has a chance pa to
yeah. Dude,
maybe get one.
I heard it. I was on the podcast here. I'm in Antipolo now. I heard in the podcast here is that they were talking about trades. It was Zach Lowe. They were talking about trades, and it's funny how because they actually mentioned the Spurs, what the Spurs plan to do, and they were talking about the Rosen and all that. And then there was one word given by Bobby Marks, and the salary cap guru. He said that it's funny how the Spurs have never been part of the NBA trade ecosystem, which is
Right.
true.
Yes.
They've never
Yes.
and the Dubs might be trying to emulate that. If you notice, the Spurs do not pick up and let players go or trade them. Very minimal.
Yep.
They really
Yeah.
they keep their picks and they develop them as much as they can.
Right.
If you notice, diba?
Yep.
Parang who's still there? They're all still there. It's not Lonnie Walker. I mean, they're all still there. So now I'm starting to think, baka that's I'm just not seeing it also, and maybe that's where the Dubs, even though they had made plenty mistakes before, baka they're emulating that part of the Spurs, wherein you don't see them just give up on Jordan Poole. You don't see them
Right.
just give up
Right.
the way they used to give up on Kendrick Nunn and
Pero they did, diba? Who was that ano nga? That project big that you guys had that they eventually gave up? Who was that nga?
Chris Boucher,
No, the other one. The one that didn't work out. Kasama
Jordan Bell.
Jordan Bell. There you go. They
Well,
diba,
Believe
if
that
you're talking
everyone was
about
first.
trying to hang on to developmental players, they hung on to him for a while, dude.
Well, yeah, they did because they spent money on him, but his problem was more attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a player, a rookie, a second round rookie who doesn't off the board when it's tambak. He just showboated. He got penalized for that, and then the biggest kickers, he got suspended for playing a practical joke on Mike Brown. The guy, this rookie, plays a practical joke on his assistant coach, wherein he buys something down in the hotel, and it charges it to Mike Brown's room.
Yep.
He got suspended for that.
I got
So I mean,
Yes.
it's really his attitude. He was too loosey goosey and not serious. He would have been good. He would have been. The guy was playing in the Western Conference Finals against the Rockets already.
Yep.
So sayang. That's what I guess those things. So sayang yun. But
They
there,
did get him at the end of last season, but it never
yeah,
turned into anything.
they might still
Wala
get him now.
talaga.
I hope they get
Diba?
Marquise Chris if he's available pa. Just
Yep.
to.
And
I'd rather
that's
get-
another thing. It's like, okay, we got the whole team, and you still need to surround whoever you end up with good vets and supporting cast. I mean, but if you're left with nothing, like, how
Yeah.
are you supposed to do that, right? It's like, especially with this trade that the Sixers tried to. I still see that's one of the dumbest offers ever.
That's just nuts, man.
Yeah, no, they know. Okay, but my last thing, I guess, unless we have anything more on this, my last long thing is that
Yeah.
if they do that, they still won't be the priority destination of ring chasers as compared to LeBron and Brody. So even in that pecking order, they know now it's going to be hard to. I mean, they'll be better, but at least it's like you're giving up so much players. You're so top heavy like the Lakers, and then your kalaban is LeBron, Brody, LA, and you know what I mean? Yeah, I guess Steph has laban, but we all know that LeBron still has a lot more appeal to a lot of players there and agents and Rich Paul, and there's a lot more influence when it comes to the Lakers and LeBron. So why compete in that free agent hunt against them also?
Speaking of free agents, Kyle Lowry is one that's being talked about, being hunted down by Miami, by a lot of teams, even by the Celtics. There's this thing now being talked about Lowry joining the Pels, with them renouncing Lonzo Ball in place of getting Lowry. What are your thoughts on that? I'll start with EJ.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, Kyle Lowry is a tested and proven champion. All right, we know that. He's a
Right.
good point guard. And this Pels team is in severe need of veteran leadership. Like Brandon
Leadership,
Ingram
yeah.
is not gonna give that to them. Lonzo Ball, as good as he is in certain statistical areas, and he does have the skills, he is also in need of his own guidance, from a vet, and he's not gonna get that in with the Pelicans. So my only problem with Lowry is that he still doesn't provide the Pels with a lot of outside shooting that they need. The Pels still need to stretch it out. And last season, it's like they love to talk about how they had the strongest effing front court in the league, and they did. Anyone that bumped into Adams and Zion ends up in the hospital.
Right.
And that
Right.
happened to one of their guys, one of their coaching staff that was trying to run drills. One of them bumped into Zion, and he ended up in the hospital. And that's what they were bragging about. Ang lakas nila ng pagka, it's all physical strength. But hey, you still
Right.
shoot the ball, right? And I like Lowry, but I don't think he's ultimately the guy. He will help, definitely, and better than Lonzo. But I think there's a better guy. But if he's on the table, they can get him. It's not bad.
Go.
What about you, Mike?
Yeah, Mike.
you?
muna.
Ako, wala.
Mike muna kasi,
It's the Phoenix Suns formula. They're trying to come in there with the youth and adding that that
Zorno.
veteran, diba? It's the same as
Yeah,
the Chris
yeah.
Paul move for the Suns. Ngayon,
Right.
but I agree with EJ. I don't think it's enough. Siguro it will be good in the macro perspective na, getting a vet there, teaching the youngsters the ropes and what it takes to get to the finals. But in terms of actually turning, having that same Chris Paul effect with Phoenix, I don't think their Lowry can bring that.
Even with the addition of JV and Lowry used to play together in the
True,
Raptors.
right,
Right.
right. Well, yeah, they have. Actually, if you look at it on paper, you can argue na their roster could be stronger than the roster that Chris Paul joined in Phoenix, 'di ba? With all these big
Right.
names, 'di ba? Medyo
Right.
pound for
Right.
pound parang lalaban sila. But then
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, man. There's still Booker in Phoenix, siguro that kind of carried that, kind of magnified that effect also of Chris Paul coming in. I don't know if Zion is there yet in his development.
Or
He can
BI.
be that, that
or,
that
or Ingram.
or Ingram, 'di ba? So let's see. Pero yeah, I mean, if he's available and they can make that happen, then that'll be good for the squad in the long term. But in terms
Oh,
of
You
of
will.
uh, of contending or winning one, probably not.
Right.
I
I
just
think
need to say though that the comparison with Phoenix, I mean, there is something there. And yeah, you're trying to bring in the vet, but without Chris Paul, Phoenix was perfect in the bubble last season,
True.
two seasons
Right.
ago.
Right.
Right? They were a good
Good
team
point.
already.
Already. Yep.
yeah.
Funnily enough, without Ubre at that point. So there's something also
Right.
about something to be said about that. He was playing well for Phoenix, but suddenly he's not playing for them. They're perfect in the bubble. They were a good team. Pelicans are not that. Zion is not there yet, and I think
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram has hit his ceiling already. So there's more. There's a lot more that needs to happen there.
I'll just add to that. I think it's completely. I think if they bring in Kyle Lowry, it's completely a wrong decision. His timeline does not fit.
Right. Right.
He's 30. He's 35. Unless we expect the Pels to be contending in 3 years, what are they gonna
And
have?
that's what they expect to do. No?
Yeah, which I don't. I think Griffin is actually starting to get a little bit impatient when he shouldn't already, because he's used to having his championship cast. Maybe he's getting a little bit too.
No, or
anti-
this is the effects nga of the Zion chismis.
Oh,
That they're
it's
trying
really-
to
Even Zion
diba?
guy is being impatient.
Yeah,
right, right.
no, but the thing is that they shouldn't be affected with the Zion chismis, because here's the problem: they're so used na nga to all these request trade. The CBA has all the powers for the mother team to keep Zion. They can match all of his offers. They can do whatever they want for the next 7 years. Zion can't do anything but just, if he wants, wreck his own PR.
Well,
You know
that's
what I
true.
mean?
That's true. Pero
So-
kasi the problem with I mean, we've seen stars leave money on the table just so they can join another squad. Parang with how big the money is, parang that extra 5 million, 10 million, parang doesn't matter na, eh, 'di ba?
Zion first will be restricted, and then they can sign him to a 4 year. I mean, they can match whatever. So the process of Zion is at least good for 5 to 7 years. So it's not something that they should be pressured with now to cut their development and get a Kyle Lowry who might just be okay. You get a Kyle Lowry, and by the time Zion and Bi is hinog already, Kyle Lowry's already, he should be replaced with a younger point guard.
Right.
So it doesn't match. JV pwede pa because I think he's in his late 20s, but
He's pretty young, pwede pa.
yeah, but I think they just cut the process too soon. It's almost like what Philly did. Philly I'm just putting by Elton Brand re-signing Tobias and all that. They just threw out the whole process thing, and look, they can't even make the finals yet. They'll even lose to Atlanta. And then what was that whole Sam Hinkie process for? I mean, they got all these stars, and what do they have to show for it? Embiid? They want to ship out Ben Simmons already? I mean,
They had Butler nga eh. They had Butler. Who they let go for Tobias.
I was telling Mike, is it really a Philly problem? Is Ben Simmons the Philly problem, or is Doc Rivers, Daryl Morey, and Elton Brand the Philly problem? I mean,
It's all of the above.
Diba? So
if you pass a dunk, it is a problem.
yeah,
What you say?
no, you're part of the problem, but you're not the reason why they're not
Not
playing. Yeah,
You know, I don't think it's a versus, or I think they're all a problem.
but there,
No, yeah. All of the above nga.
no, but I'm saying that there, the Philly cut their process short. I don't think New Orleans. I mean, it seems parang we're in this impatient world again of the NBA. Na Zion's been there for what is his second year, his first full year. Then all of a sudden we're already making this point guard moves just so that Zion wins it in the next.
I would say that if they are catering to him and he's being a little too impatient or whatever, then they're making a mistake. Because you're listening to a sophomore, he's barely been in the league and everything. Then fine, as an organization, hey, you're making a mistake. But I don't say getting Lowry is a complete mistake, because talent like that in the league is rare with the amount of experience that he has. Finals experience. There's a lot of things that they can get, and he can still play for a few years. You know, but
I would
I
pick
still
Lonzo.
say not bad, because I mean, they're not gonna go to the finals.
Yeah.
And in a few years, Lowry, you don't know what he's gonna be, and he's a lot more injury prone, and he has been in the past. So it's, again, like I said, it's not perfect. There's a better guy, but is there a better guy for them now? Can they actually get someone? The Sixers are obviously not offering Ben Simmons for a great deal. I mean, it's like,
I would resign Lonzo. I always liked Lonzo's game. I always did. I mean, from the time he was drafted, I'm a Lonzo guy.
There are two of them actually. There's Lonzo Ball, there's Josh Hart also. Both are now restricted free agents.
but at some point you need to bring in elite experience and talent at the same time. So that's what I think. That's what he brings.
But
It's
not, for me,
that's
not
what
this
you
year.
can get now. And all you lose is Lonzo. I mean, it's like, for me, it's not such a hard thing, because what
Dude,
has
you lose-
Lonzo proven also?
You lose one ball. Would you want to lose one ball?
Oh,
Ano yan, kinapon?
Just very particular to losing.
Wow!
Very particular to losing a ball. There's Lonzo, there's Lamelo. That's elite talent. Those are two balls who are in the league.
Yeah,
And then you lose one.
I'll pass on this already. You got this. Okay, Julio, you win this round.
There's a lot to talk about pa.
wala.
Baka you guys wanna bring other teams up.
No. Let's go. What? I mean, let's
you know
go.
what? I'm just glad that they didn't play in the era of Larry Bird. That's all I have to say.
So in other words, they should have been both the teammates of Larry Bird. Is that where we're going here?
I'm just glad they didn't. Hindi sila
I-
nagsabay. Kasi, yeah.
Okay.
The connotation is Larry's Bird, not Larry Bird.
Hindi na, basta yun lang yun, dude. They're walking down the court. You see their jerseys from behind. Bird, ball. Ayun.
Hey,
Are there any other teams we can talk about right now?
yeah. Okay. No, wait. Okay, let's talk about.
Good. Celtics.
Ayan,
What's happening
segue,
with the
diba?
Celtics?
Actually,
They
that's
don't want to
reason.
deal with Fournier. Parang they want to let him
Yeah.
go yata. Ah.
Aside from that, also, where will Tristan Thompson find a home? Is it Atlanta?
They shipped to Sacramento
Is it
na.
Sacramento? That's why, guy.
Sacramento na ngayon.
Also, Sacramento has this thing about getting bigs and then not knowing what to do with them. So it's
Oh,
like, that
right.
big's available, let's get him. It's like, what the hell are we gonna do
Right.
with him? I don't know,
Eh.
but he was pretty decent before.
Holmes is a restricted free agent now. Ah. Nililigawan na yan by other teams.
Yeah,
think
Sean Holmes,
Mavs are interested.
I think
he
unrestricted.
can help.
I think he's unrestricted.
Can help.
yata. That's why. That's why they
Unrestricted ba? Delikado yan.
medyo matagal
That's
na
why
si.
they got Thompson.
Yeah,
Ang
that's why
layo
they got-
nung pinalit.
that's why they got Thompson nga because parang
No,
parang
baka,
insurance.
baka safety net yan.
Yeah. So, but
Pangit
okay,
ng safety.
the one that okay in that whole Thompson, because I think it was
Aha.
Chris Dunn and somebody. Wait, who's it? Chris Dunn and someone from the Hawks go to the Celtics. Thompson goes to dapat nga Atlanta, then it eventually became the Kings. And then this is the key for me, EJ. You'll enjoy this one. You like this player. Dillon Wright goes to the Hawks.
Yes, that's a great pickup for the Hawks. Huh?
Does he replace? You think they'll
Totally
get?
rendering him fantasy inert.
No, I'm
He goes
thinking.
from top 50 to top 500 in no time.
Yeah. No, but as a team, that does that mean they won't bring back Lou Williams? He'll be the combo guard na off the bench. Ganun ba yun?
That's what's sort of that's how it looks like, at least
Diba? So,
right now. Yeah.
and then
That's great, though. I mean, he adds a lot of things that the team needs. If they actually use him as a six.
yes.
The thing
No,
lang with
right.
the Hawks is I
Pwede.
don't know who their sixth man is. It's like I don't know. I still don't. I'm looking at that roster and it's like it's a work in progress.
It became Lou
You know,
Williams.
the six-man situation. Sure, because he always is. But man, at some point you thought it would be Bogdanovich. You thought it would be Italian, what's his name?
Gallinari.
Yeah,
Ano lang,
I thought it would be
Lando.
Gallo.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like it's like you have really good young talent in Hunter and Reddish, and you weren't sure who was better at any point. Hunter looked better at some point, and suddenly Reddish looked better, than him. Then suddenly Horter came out of nowhere, and I was like, this team is nuts.
There's
They're stacked.
Yep.
there's what?
They're deep. Definitely
They're
deep.
stacked with talent.
They're
Yeah.
super. That's why.
No, but
Dub-
ano yan eh, all those things happened because of injuries. Reddish was injured, Hunter was injured. Even Bog was coming from an injury. That's why he was off the
Yeah.
bench for a while. Then he ended up becoming the starter.
crazy
Herter
thing-
eventually earned the job as a starter. In my opinion, at least. He was shooting well, dishing, getting boards, even helping facilitate the offense. It's pretty cool, man.
But it's like it doesn't work.
Who they'll keep, I don't know.
It doesn't work. Teams usually it doesn't work out. When that happens to a
No,
team,
no.
you get that many injuries.
It did
I
for
mean,
them,
how
though.
lucky are you that they had another guy come in and play almost as well or even better than the last guy that got injured? And it's
Right.
happening. Whoever came in to replace was like, okay, just keep on going. It's like, let's go to the playoffs.
Yeah, what a luxury to have.
It's
two days-
surprising.
The two they traded
Yeah.
away Bruno Fernando. The two they traded away Bruno Fernando and Chris Dunn don't even get playing time.
No, not at all.
And they're able to get back a Dillon Wright for players who don't get playing time.
Yep.
It's really
Right.
I was wondering what are they gonna do with DeLon Wright? I mean,
not resign Lou Williams.
no.
Kasi Lou Williams is a free
Yeah.
agent.
Alam mo.
If you
Yeah.
to put Wright in your team, that renders Lou Williams. Yeah, you don't need him anymore.
Yeah.
But someone does. I mean, I hope he'll be back. I like watching
Well,
him play.
Dubs. Ah,
Lakers.
Let's get
Bumalik
him.
siya ng LA, pero Lakers naman. Pwede yan.
I just checked. Richaun Holmes is a unrestricted free agent right now. So yes,
Unrestricted, yeah. So
Yeah.
they might lose him.
they really
They
might
might
lose
lose
him.
him.
But
And
Yeah, that's the Kings, man.
it's
Who wants
interesting
to play for the Kings?
the situation of the Atlanta now. Kasi parang I see them as, how where Boston was in 2017 ba yun?
yes,
2018.
when
Where
they were
they,
too stuck with
yeah, they were very stuck. They have them for cheap pa, all these mga solid role players. And eventually, when
Right.
they, with how they're performing, they're going to get expensive. So Atlanta's in this weird window now where they
yeah,
have this stock squad for cheap.
Right.
And
they
just
will have to decide. They will have
yeah,
to trim the
trim
fat.
it down. Yep.
That's why I thought EJ said fat because it was like perfect because now they have to trim the fat. But he said stock. But no, but
It's a,
that's
it's
Yep.
a fat team. PH.
pH fat.
PH
So
fat. Yeah.
oh no, continue, Mike. I was just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
continue.
Parang it's ano lang. I'm looking at their payroll now. So parang it's looking at, although si Gallinari here is getting paid pala 20 million, 19.5.
1 year lang
That's
ba?
one
2
player
years?
they
No,
can
no.
get rid of.
Gallinari is under contract until 2023. So it's
Wow.
going up. It's 19.5 last
Wow,
year.
they invested on him.
Yeah, 20.4 million next year and 21.4 the following year. So medyo mabigat
I can't
yan.
say, I can't say any of it is a mistake because of where they ended up
I know.
last season.
Well, yeah.
It's like, who can complain
Actually,
about anything that happened?
Yeah, but they should thank Doc Rivers for that. And Ben Simmons and Daryl Morey and Elton Brand.
Yep.
Oi,
Wait,
Bobby, diba, we've been praising Milwaukee, you know. We've been praising Milwaukee for getting into the finals, winning a championship by building, right?
yeah,
And we saw this with that Celtics team you mentioned, although they never made it to the finals. But they had to let go of some players because of money coming in and shit. Bobby Portis did not sign and went on free agency. The guy's going to be asking for money. That's going to start to be a problem for the Bucks
Right.
also.
also, he wants. It's just
That's
he knows.
just how it is.
His agent just told him, "Dude, ride your wave now and just get some more cash." And
Right,
that's
right.
because he has a
But
championship.
that's going to eventually become a problem because the other players will follow suit.
No, I want to add, pa, there's one more thing, pa, about that Boston did. Remember how they got Al Horford and Moses Brown for Kemba? Remember?
Yeah.
Right.
Those two
Right.
big. They traded Moses Brown to Dallas
Yeah, they did for Josh Richardson.
for Josh
naman.
Richardson. So they just got another
Right.
wing again. I'm confused. GM,
And they don't wanna sign Fournier. It looks like they're gonna ship him out.
GM brand is confusing me right now. Exactly
Hindi,
how.
I think
I mean,
the Fournier
being
move.
honest.
The Fournier move, I think, is them trying to make space for a free agent signing. Diba they're looking to target either Lowry or ano. So I think they're trying to
Or
create
Beal.
room for that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to
You
go
saw
for
this
a big
meme?
fish.
You saw this meme of Damian Lillard looking at Evan Fournier shooting free throws
Yes.
in the Olympics.
Yeah.
It's like that's how teams are looking at Evan Fournier right now. It's like, you did not play like this last season. What the hell's going on here? What are you trying to prove? Are you trying to stay? Trying to get a good deal right now? I mean, it's like he's showcasing the world stage right now.
Yeah.
Evan Fournier is trying to tell the team something.
Evan Fournier always plays well when it's FIBA, and for some reason, and then he gets signed a big contract in the NBA, and then he sucks.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Lillard is like, you ain't play like this.
Yeah.
I mean, he was giving him that look, the parang, it's like, what's going on?
But if Mike gets him for fantasy, he kills everybody else.
Oh yeah, he did. Fantasy player yan 2 years ago, dude. Sa Orlando pa siya, diba?
Yeah, I think it was Orlando Fournier. Are
And
there
then
any
when
other-
Mike gets Middleton, he doesn't perform well in the season, but then he ends up playing, winning a championship, pero wala ng fantasy purpose yun.
Oh, Giannis, diba? Giannis.
Then you wanna get him again. For sure this time he's gonna, champion na to. Nope, regular season.
Wala, let's see
Okay.
if I can steal Giannis sa draft. Kasi mukhang marami ng mga agaw yan. I remember a time they laughed at me for picking Giannis first.
Shooter na yan.
No, no.
Shooter na
This
yan.
was 2016 ba yun? 2015. We did the fantasy. I drafted Giannis first. Jay and Julio laughed at me, dude. They
He
laughed
will
at me.
laugh.
They laughed at me as in they mocked
Oh,
me.
no.
And then that was Giannis's first year na
Nothing
he was a
more than
triple double machine. And then I
I
almost
got
got
Giannis.
that. Pero,
I got Giannis at some around there.
who got
Also,
us
I mean, I was on a high for over Giannis. But yeah,
Who got
di ba? Eh, parang ano lang yan. Well, in fairness, nakaganti na ako kay Jay because he picked Zion first 2 years ago.
epic.
That's
That was
hilarious.
yeah. When Jay went Zion
Yeah.
PG for his first two picks, that was
Yeah.
wild, dude.
No, I'll give it to Jay. Jay knows how to make an entrance, make an exit, make a Jay's that's
Full shot talaga. Jay, you're on the clock. Zion! Wala na.
Digressing again, digressing.
Okay,
Wait, wait.
okay,
There are two
okay.
other big names. There are two other big names that are
Yeah,
still
go.
being talked about. That's still sort of out there. You think they'll move Beal and Dame?
I
Yan.
think that's up to them.
Go ahead, DJ.
I think that's up to them. It was like there was a lot of word, because then there were a lot of rumors. You don't really know, was that really coming from them? Was that just the media? Did someone leak out there just to play around with the organization or whatever for a better contract, or to try to get the team to work harder to get better talent around them? I think end of the day, it's up to them. Like
Yeah.
they haven't we don't know if they're asking. If they did, then yeah, sure, they're gonna be they'll find the best deal for them to whatever. But as of now, Beal is the guy in Washington. There is absolutely no one else. Sure, Roy is okay. He showed that with Japan. He's definitely nowhere near that, and
Right.
he continues to be that. Dame is
You
the same
mentioned-
in Portland.
Right. You mentioned Rui. Parang there are talks now of Kuzma, who might be moving again. Kuzma and Rui to Toronto for Spicy P. If that's the case, then maybe Beal is really staying. Maybe
Mhm.
Beal is really staying.
Yeah,
They're
that's
trying
right.
to find someone who can,
Right.
who can be his Robin.
And I think that's
of sorts.
that's the whole point of that.
Yeah, no,
It's like
keep him there.
not the type of guy to wanna, but it all came about because it's like, hey,
Right.
we need talent,
Right.
around here. But a guy like Beal, a guy and Dame also, I think they want to be the guy. And now that Giannis did what he did, that might influence
Right.
other teams
Yep,
to
Yes.
want to do that, And even if they don't win, it's like,
And keep their stars.
we did this for the city,
Yep.
kind of thing,
Right.
right?
Dame
Right.
Dame looks like he has a fire for me, huh? So Dame possibly can want to eventually get requested to trade, but he has that whole persona of wanting to stay in Portland.
Yeah.
Beal, I honestly see Beal as a guy who just wants to get money. Just for now, he just likes Beal so far just likes to play and score. I don't see him even
Wanting to be traded.
or
Yeah,
even
yeah, yeah.
I don't see his hunger even to compete yet or win. I just know
Right.
it's almost like
Well,
I want to
wala
establish
ka eh.
myself first. You know what I mean? Me first. Now everyone knows I'm Bill.
Yep. It's like wala pa. He hasn't had the opportunity
It's so
to
true.
really establish that he can be a competitor. No playoffs to talk about. No,
Because,
I mean, it's like I want to see him in that situation, but it's the Wizards.
No,
So
because also his first few years was overshadowed by Wall.
By Wall.
I mean, it's only the last 2 years wherein he can first be Bill. You know
He
what?
was the guy.
I don't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to why would I go to the Dubs and have to be under Steph or under Draymond? Let
Yeah.
me be
Yeah.
Bill in Washington, 'di ba? Parang
Right.
that's how I feel
As
about
opposed
him.
to Dame being the guy na.
Yeah, Dame is more like I've been the guy and I'm just losing. We'll see where his
Right. Right.
Mhm.
tolerance is eventually. So, what else do you have, Mike? You have any more trades that you want to discuss?
Well, wala na. I think there's mga small
Yeah.
ones. It's mostly the trades here are mostly from the draft.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Well,
mga here. There were the draft picks.
Mostly itsy-bitsy ones.
Yeah.
So nothing major pa. I think those are the two that are everyone's waiting for nga. Kaya medyo
Right.
hindi rin makaporma. Remember what that Kawhi free agency also where everyone was staying put because they wanted to know first what
Yeah.
Kawhi was gonna do. So I mean,
That's,
I'm thinking
that's
everyone's anticipating. Everyone's waiting for Dame and the decision before they make their moves.
no, they must no decision as long as he doesn't request. The big decision you mentioned Kawhi nga. Everyone's waiting for Kawhi to opt in or opt out
Well,
also.
isa pa
I mean
yan,
that's
yeah. Yep.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's huge also. And Chris Paul
There's
opt
talk he
in.
might not even play. There's talk he might not even play though. That's how bad now the tear on his ACL was.
Ooh.
Who knows with Kawhi?
I heard the chip was put into Joshua Primo, but let's wait. That's another day. Diba?
Must you bring him up again?
No, I know, dude. But
You guys
Why?
talked about
Binigyan
the
ng jersey kanina yan.
oo nga.
It's like
Wait.
all the offers, every single offer that the Sixers have tried to whatever with Ben Simmons. You've discussed that already.
No, you want to talk about how crazy the yeah. I
It's
don't know.
like you can put up, every single negative adjective out there, to describe what the hell the Sixers are doing with Ben Simmons. Are you trying to tank the value of your
Exactly.
player if he stays with your team? Are you trying
That's
to
exactly
make
what's
him
gonna
stuck
happen.
with you
Yeah.
guys? I mean, what are you doing?
That's exactly
But-
what Daryl Morey wants to do.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very awkward in training
So
camp.
weird.
Yep.
Yeah. So weird. They put the guy's name out there already. You think he'd still want to play there? Or if he
Yeah.
still ends up there, will his heart be there wanting to play for the
Yeah.
Sixers? Day in end.
No,
Day in end.
On that note,
exactly.
And then by asking for so much for him, they're eventually gonna devalue him also because
Yeah.
teams are gonna be man.
And they're
We're
actually-
gonna wait until it's the right
Teams-
time.
Actually, them announcing it lang na they're shopping around Simmons already devalued him because now they don't have the
Yes.
leverage already because all the teams know that they want to get rid of him.
yeah,
Now, if you
Right,
kind of kept
right.
it on the down low, then you would have the cards. You can always say na, you know what? Yan yung mga para nagbabuy and sell na they always include na not a rush sale.
Negotiable or
hindi,
negotiable.
or we're not in a hurry to sell
Simmons
it.
contract.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Na okay,
Yeah.
you know what? You want Simmons? Sige, let's talk about it. But we're not in a hurry to ship him out. At least you have the cards, di ba? You're holding the cards pa and you're
Right.
laying it down on the table. By
Right.
announcing it, and yun nga, we were talking about it in the chat, even right after the game they got eliminated. Imagine Doc Rivers was getting interviewed. He was asked if he saw Ben Simmons starting next year. And his answer was, I do
Yeah.
not know.
that was horrible, man. How
Yeah,
they threw
that
Ben
was really bad. Kasi he could have just
yeah.
said yes and just,
Yeah,
diba, just say yes.
Nilaglag
Yeah.
siya.
Just say
You
yes
could
and then
just-
figure it out
Yeah.
later, diba? Parang
Just say
wala
yeah.
na.
Yeah.
Just say why won't Ben?
This is a
Why?
horribly emotional coach.
Yeah, diba? He
Well,
could've
it
just
is.
said
Done
nga,
that before the Clippers.
Pero medyo
Nilaglag
siguro,
na rin yan sina Blake at SP3 before.
and yan, going back to the topic nga kanina, diba? You guys were wondering why what's wrong with Philly. You have a screwed up organization to begin with before Daryl Morey came and before Doc Rivers came. And then
Yeah.
you bring in Daryl Morey from a screwed up organization and
yeah.
and you bring in a Doc Rivers from another
from the
screwed up organization.
What
What
if-
are you expecting with Philly,
Well-
dude? I mean, the cultures of those two. Clippers was laglagan
Yeah.
culture all the way.
Yeah. You know why? Kasi mali yung math eh. If it was negative plus negative, positive yon. But they added another negative pa eh.
No, dapat
No,
no,
no.
dapat they multiplied. Kasi when you plus, it's
Yeah,
negative
yeah.
plus negative is still negative eh.
Yeah, that's why nga. So they should have multiplied para positive.
Para positive.
But if they multiplied another negative
Who?
in Doc Rivers.
Ayun
So
nga,
you,
sila.
you have negative brand plus negative times negative more, dapat positive. Then you times negative Rivers.
Okay. So, okay.
I'm not good at conceptual math, so I got nothing to say to add to that.
Oh, muntik na akong kumain ng popcorn.
Medyo ano na yan. Let's talk about balls. Let's talk about the Ball brothers na lang again.
You wanna talk about balls? What did you say?
So we talk about hey, I'm just wondering when Okay, it's free agency next week. We're all talking about free agency already, and that's going to be next week, August 3, along with Summer League, along as with when probably the medal games
Mhm.
are going to start with the Olympics, right?
Mhm.
That's
Right.
sometime next week.
Yep.
And I guess we'll have our next episode again will be in
We'll probably have, I don't know, because the medal stages will be one day after the other. Na. So I think it's a 4 day stretch.
oh,
So we'll probably be streaming every day on that stretch also if you want to cover, what happened,
I'm okay.
what happens
Yeah,
in those
I'm okay with
games.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that will be
Um,
good siguro. I am anticipating also a lot of free agent movement when the market opens, diba?
yeah.
A lot of good things to talk about.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
marami pa
For
yan
sure.
next week. Marami pa yan. Wow, we
Right.
got into a good
With that
conversation now.
said,
Sarap. Wait, hold
Wait,
on,
wait,
Mike.
wait, wait, wait,
Mike,
wait.
oh.
you have
Actually,
any
yeah,
last-
I don't know. Actually, I just wanted to say na this is the free agency is what I'm more excited about than the draft.
Yeah.
So I can move on from
Yeah.
from Joshua Primo actually because we have salary cap, so
Ang
we have space.
Yeah.
pinaka-primo trade ng draft.
Primo
So,
I
pick.
yeah.
just wanna finally see a full roster for the Lakers,
Primo
man.
pick pala,
Yan.
sorry.
You'll get there starting next week. Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts, Mike? Wise words?
Oh, wait, wise words. It doesn't matter how you pick your nose; it's where you put the booger.
I can live with that.
EJ? Okay. EJ, we'd like to thank you for coming, and we'd like to hope
Yes.
you come more often. I mean, you are part of the OG bench, so just pop in whenever your time and your schedule allows you.
Will
But
do. This is fun.
thank you for dropping by
Thanks,
today.
man.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Jay, send us home, man.
Alrighty. That was the huddle. We said it first. Here on
The
The
bench.
bench.
the bench. That never
Bye-bye.
freaking goes down right.
Bye bye.
man.
Bye
I
bye.
know.
I need to
Yeah.
prepare my Super Sentai post next time.